Hey folks, hopefully you can all hear me and see me. It's just a last minute decided to go on and do the after gig hangout. Hey Gary, how are you, buddy? Nice to see you. So yeah, it's the after gig hangout from the show I did yesterday. Um, I saw you in the chat there, Gary. So you were able to see the show, which is cool. Actually, since I have you in here, Gary, let me know if you can hear me and see me okay. Because this is on the new computer still, and just want to make sure everything's still okay before I start yakking too much. Okay. Looks and sounds great. Okay, awesome. So we played a gig. As you know, Gary, you were in the chat last night. We played a gig yesterday out in a city called Ancaster, which is like about an hour and 15 minutes away. So it was a bit of a hike to get out there. And we played there before. We did a New Year's Eve gig there this past year. And it's a really it's a really good bar in the sense that it's really set up well for bands. I mean, if you saw the video from last night, you can see that we had like a really big stage. Hey Joe Hervey, how are you, man? We had like a really big stage and lots of room to move around, and they had lighting. They had a house PA, but for whatever reason, we didn't use it. We used our own. We could have used their house PA because they had monitors everywhere, right? All sort of, embedded in the stage. But for whatever reason, I don't know. They didn't want to use it. They brought our own. But the 339 sounded great last night. Audio and video was good too. Yeah, yeah. I watched some of the clips when I got home last night. Good. I'd love to know all the good and bad about last night. Thank you. Uh, okay. Yeah, I'm Danny Allen. How are you, man? Yeah, I'm just gonna do a run through what happened. Maybe I'll give it a couple minutes. Get a chance for a few more. I should have announced this, eh? It's just I'm tired, man. So this was sort of a last minute thing. So we'll give it a couple minutes. Wait, see if we get a few more in, and then I'll tell the whole story. But yeah, the 339 was cool last night. I haven't jammed with that or plat jam with that. I haven't really used that a lot this year. That guitar was always like the main guitar for the Rebel Jam band, or Rebel Charm band that I'm in. So if you look at any of the Rebel Charm stuff on my playlist, my live music playlist, you'll see me playing that guitar a lot with that band because it's really full sounding, but it's also very MIDI sounding, right? So when you got two guitars, that might not be the best guitar to use because it kind of it gets lost, in the mix, right? So that's why I generally go for Les Pauls. How was the Zim interview? Missed it. It was all right. It wasn't really an interview, Joe. We just kind of hung out and trying to remember what the hell we even talked about. Um, well, obviously we talked about gear, and I think we talked about some pedals and stuff, and it was cool. Zim's a good dude, man. If you're not sub to Zim's guitars, um, he's got a YouTube channel, obviously that I was on Friday, and he's he's got like a guitar shop in Arizona, and he basically deals in like used stuff. So he gets some cool stuff coming in, and he shows that. And he had some cool. Actually, what was cool is he had a pedal that I have the exact same pedal, so that was kind of cool. We both have the Marshall Governor, so but his is for sale, obviously. So no, Zim's a good dude. All right, see how many people we got in here now. There's four of us in here now. So while I'm waiting for a few more people to show up, is there any questions you guys have about the show last night, or anything you want to talk about? I think you were in there too, Joe Hervey, and actually Denny. All you guys saw that. So what'd you think of the gig? His last vid, the Azer Reverb. I got that one, $20 on Amazon. Oh yeah, he does a lot of that. The really inexpensive um, pedal stuff. Yeah, he does a lot of that. Actually, I got something to talk about regarding inexpensive pedals as well, because I was using one of them last night and it sounded absolutely fantastic through the Marshall. I was using the Marshall head yesterday. Yeah, the you guys sound great. Yeah, the oh cool. That's why I like doing it, because I know that some of you really enjoy those um, live gigs, right? Um, so when I have a chance to do it, I do it. I was really surprised at that I was using the bar's Wi-Fi and it held up, man. And that's like a first ever that I was able to use a bar Wi-Fi and it actually held up. It was crazy. So yeah, it was that was good. And yeah, it wasn't. It was a little bit distorted, but not super distorted. But what was really cool was um, what was I gonna say? What was really cool is it sounded better on my phone, the mix, than it sounded on the stage, because the stage sound was horrible, you know, because we were so, I don't know if you can, I could get, it's kind of hard to tell from the video, but everybody is so spread widely apart and we don't have monitors for the instruments, so it was like, the bass player was way over there, and it didn't sound like cohesive. You know what I mean? It sounded kind of all scattered. So the stage sound was horrible. So at least it came out sounding okay. So that was good. I appreciate that, Joe Hervey. I'm just throwing up a camera, man. I'm just sharing the gigs, man. I'm not doing anything crazy. You thought the 339 cut through better than the Les Paul? That's interesting. No, Joe Hervey, man. That place, you're gonna laugh, and I'm not making this up. I paid $12 for one beer at that bar. One beer cost me $12. Yeah. So no, at the end of that night, I think most of us came out with you know like little to nothing. You know. Yeah, because the drummer always buys every place we play, always guaranteed he'll get wings. So his wings were $20 for like a little thing of chicken wings. Like, yeah, and there was no tab, nothing. So, and we're driving an hour and, like I said, about an hour and 15 to get there. 77 kilometers. So I don't know what that's like in miles, probably about 50, 60 miles, you know, and no tab, and you're paying like one beer $12. So when we came out, we all kind of said, I don't think we want to come back here again. And like I said, it's kind of unfortunate because, it's got like a really cool stage, as you saw, and it's got the nice lights and all that shit, right? But no, there's another place that is almost the same distance. That it's called Hacks. That other place, and they're gonna pay. They pay us more than that. Like these guys, they lowball you a bit. They pay us more than this place does. It's about the same length of drive, but they pay you more, and you get a $50 bar tab. So I think I'd rather go there than here. But yeah, $12. It's not a joke. I'm serious. Yeah, it's $12. I don't have the receipt, but I swear to you, it was 10 and change, and I gave them a $2 tip. So I was like, one beer was $12. When a band brought their own, oh, you know what? I applaud that band, Denny. I applaud that band for doing that because they don't pay us a lot of money, honestly. Like they don't, and at the very least, like give them some free drinks or something, you know, and yeah, and they want us back, but I don't think we're gonna go back. So yeah, it's kind of shitty. Yeah. So yeah, it was a little. Like the I decided to bring out the big guns yesterday only because I hadn't played the brought out the big guns in a while, so I could have probably got away with my combo, but I decided to bring the 212 cab and the Marshall head and my 50-watt Marshall head. I think I managed to get the volume to a solid 2.5. Yeah, we did sound check, and um, right away, as soon as we were done, up comes the waitress. Can you guys turn down? Like immediately. And I already know what that's about, right? There's not a lot of people in there. And then what you do is, the trick is you do over the course of the night, you just, in very small amounts, you just increase the volume and nobody notices, and then it just sounds better because when the guitars are turned down so low, all you're hearing is the drums and you're not hearing any oomph, any power behind it. So, you know, so you just over the course of the night, you just sort of inch it up a little bit louder, and which is what I did. So I had a decent volume, plus I need to hear myself over the drums. So that's the other issue. Yeah, when if you bring your own drink to a bar, they'll toss you out, right? So that's happened to me before. Um, we were this is a long time ago, but I had a friend who turned 50, and so we went and played with him singing at this one bar, and we have a tradition with that particular group of people that before we play, we have a shot of bullet bourbon. Um, so you know we the bar doesn't have bullet bourbon, so the drummer had a little gym bag, and he pulled out the bullet bourbon and served these things, and we had quick shot, and a waitress was coming by and saw that and immediately wanted to throw us all out of the bar. So I said to her in a very calm voice, I said, excuse me, miss, you realize that everyone in this bar right now is here because this gentleman is turning 50 years old, and that's why you have people in the bar. So if you want to kick us out of the bar, you're basically going to take everybody else that's in the bar is going to come out with us. So you either let us have this one drink because you don't serve this alcohol and you let that pass, or you have an empty bar on a Saturday night. And then the owner came over and then he started yipping, right? And he wouldn't stop until somebody left. So the drummer, the guy who brought the to give us all a shot, he goes, don't worry, I don't want to start a fight, and he left. So yeah, it's kind of crazy. Hey, there's Quentin. Hey buddy, how are you, man? There's Paul Lou, nice to see you. I can never hear your other guitar player. Yeah, well, Gary, that's what I was saying. Like all the amps and everything was spread out, and he took his little tiny look. It's like a little toy 30-watt combo. It's a PV, and he was like way over on the other side of the drums. So there's no way the phone mic would pick it up. The phone mic was picking me up because I was pretty close to it, and it was picking up a lot of drums. And of course, it always picks up bass because bass frequencies travel. They're omnidirectional, right? So, yeah. but you could hear him up there, But I'm always a little bit louder than him generally, because I'm supposed to be the lead guy. So I was thinking about locking tuners, but my guitar stays in decent tune, new bridge, and not will be installed in a week. Yeah, just my 2 cents with locking tuners, Joe Hervey. Don't bother. Locking tuners are only needed if you have an issue. If you don't have an issue, why bother? If you've got a good, if your nut is filed properly and your saddles and all that, and everything is moving good and staying in tune, I don't swap locking tuners to locking tuners unless I have an issue. Yeah, I mean they're cool because you can change strings quicker, but I wouldn't bother swapping locking tuners. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. That's just my 2 cents. Public Enemy with James Cagney, great movie. I don't know if I've seen that one. Hey Dale Palmer, how are you? Denny Allen, are you using the OBS that had the... Yes, I am, Denny. I am on OBS, and I would probably be sounding like Darth Vader every 20 seconds. But I am on... I got a new PC last Friday, and I've just been playing around with it, and that's what I'm using right now. And I did a test. I didn't keep the video up. I did a test yesterday just to see how it worked. I even played some guitar. I'm not gonna do that now though. I even played some guitar and it sounded good. So it's problem is solved. It was just OBS didn't like my old computer, so I had to go out and buy another one. So, hey Jeff Ripplinger, why is the audio so low? Okay, you find the audio low? No worries, I'll fix that. Alright, should be a lot louder now. I just turned my mic up. Okay. Henrik Viking, how are you, man? Long time no see. Yeah, I hope you're well, Henrik. Hope everything is well. Your guitars look great stacked up. Yeah, that stand, actually, funny enough, Quentin has the exact same guitar stand as I do. So that stand, he has the exact same one. Much better audio. Okay, cool. Yeah, I just turned up the mic. Hey, Richard Poole, how are you? We got 13 in here now. Yeah, I should have maybe announced this. But you're finding your way in. That's much appreciated. You guys absolutely rock. Yeah, Paul Lou, I messaged him not too long ago. He's a good dude, right? And just to see how he was doing, and he said he was doing fine. He's just kind of keeping busy, and yeah, he's last time I talked to him, messaged him. I'm trying to remember how long ago. It might have been a month ago. Because I hadn't seen him in a while, and I just sent him a quick message to see if he was okay, and he's fine. You have the same stand, but not the same guitars. Well, I could say the same thing. I don't have a custom-made guitar coming my way, Quinn. I'm just saying. Hey, Mitch, how are you, man? Oh, you caught him? You saw him, Dale? Comment on something? Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. Gomercaster. Yeah, I don't have any Gomercasters coming my way. I'd hate to see what a Hackcaster would look like. God, it'd be an abomination. Yeah, these stands here are cool. They're real cheap, and you can't really move them around. So if you just get like a stand that you set and forget, these are cool. But if you want like a stand that you're gonna take like to gigs and that, and open it up and close it and move it around, that thing will just fall right apart. But excuse me, just leaving it like that, it's fine. Were you having trouble with your delay last night? It looked like you kept tweaking it. I was tweaking like crazy, Gary, because I didn't like my sound on stage. I sounded horrible. Yeah. So let me talk a little bit about the gig now that we got a few more people in here. So I had a gig, as most of you know, and a lot of you that are in here actually caught bits of it. I posted all three sets. I streamed all three sets last night, and the bar Wi-Fi worked great, so everything came through. And it was at a bar that was about about an hour and 15 from here, so it was quite a drive. We've been there before. I played New Year's Eve there last year. And it's got a really the best thing about that place for me is it's got a really nice big stage, and it's got the nice lights, and it had a really good house PA, which we did not use for whatever reason. We just used our own. We could have used the house PA. I could have had monitors and whatever, but it is what it is. So we used our own. But because the way the stage is set up, everybody's way spread out. And oh, hey Cheddar, hey Bobby, how are you, man? Because the stage was way spread out, it was really tough to you know uh, to get a good sound on the stage again because we weren't using any monitors. There was only one monitor in front of the guy singing, so when I was singing, I couldn't hear myself at all, and I actually lost my spot because I couldn't hear fucking anything. I'm just screaming into a mic, hoping it's coming out. I don't think my mic was even on. I don't know what the hell happened there, but hopefully, skip over that part if you watch the videos I put up. But yeah, so the stage, the sound on the stage was really shit. And yeah, but apart from that, out there was a couple of musician guys that were out there, and they were saying that what was coming out was sounding good. So even though it sounded all kind of fragmented on stage, they said that was coming out was sounding good. So when I had what I recorded with the phone, when I listened to that last night, it actually did sound a lot better than what I was hearing in terms of the mix, because what I was hearing was garbage. So I was tweaking all night trying to figure out, like, you know, adjusting this, a little more treble, a little more this, a little more that, a little more that, and I usually start and finish with the same guitar, but I was tweaking so much and screwing around so much that as I wasn't sure if the 339 was cutting it right, because again, I wasn't hearing it properly on the stage, and I ended up, I had a backup guitar, and I played the third set with the Les Paul. So if you watched the live stream, you saw that. So I have all three sets up on my channel. I would highly recommend you just go to set 3, because all the other sets we play some pretty lame shit. I'm the first to admit it, but it's stuff that you got to play for an audience because I like it. But if you want to hear like a more rockin' set, you want to hear like Mangy Cooter slash My Sharona, and some cooler stuff, and Kiss, and some cooler stuff. Listen to the third set, and then we got one encore. We did Rockin' in the Free World, so the third set is probably the best one. I would suggest, unless you want to sit through like some lame shit like Brown Eyed Girl, just go right to the third set. So to answer your question, Gary, yeah, I was tweaking all night, man. I was tweaking all night. Hey, Dana's here. EJ's channel is gone? No, it's not. I was at it looking at it the other day. It's around. You do lots of pop punk. Pop punk. Well, we do some Green Day, and is that Blink 182 or something? Yeah. That's it. We do maybe a couple, and we do Ramones. We did Blitzkrieg Bop. Yeah. I guess you know what, we actually do a bit, and if you want to call the Clash punk, well, I guess it was punk. Hey, Dry Heat, how are you, man? Oh shit. That, you know what that was, Quentin? Remember he was saying a guy said he stole his riff or whatever? I guess he kept hitting him and it took him down. That is absolutely ridiculous. That is absolutely ridiculous, man. Shit, EJ was kicking ass on that channel too, man. Fuck. It must have been that troll that kept hitting him. Man, that sucks. And there was no truth to it either. Man, I hope he fights it. I don't know how you would even fight it, but that's ridiculous, man. Why do there gotta be so many assholes out there? Jesus Christ. That's terrible. Yeah. Anyway. Should do some 41 Canadian boys. Yeah. Yeah, some 41 is cool. I used to do a Sum 41 song, and I can't remember the name of it now. It was like the slower song, and it kind of builds up. I don't know. Hey, Brian Bond, how are you? Ed, there was a guy that said that he plagiarized one of his songs, and he kept making claims against EJ. And EJ actually A-B'd it, and I mean, it was like 3 notes or something stupid. I mean, let's put it this way. If his argument was true, everybody's plagiarized everybody for the last 100 years. I mean, there was nothing to it at all. Zero. And the guy was just being a dick, and he was trolling EJ. And I guess he must have filed enough shit against EJ that they took EJ down. And that's totally wrong and uncalled for because EJ is guilty of nothing. So that sucks, man. Now I'm pissed off. Anyway. Hell Song is dope. Hey Thrash, how are you? Brian Bond's EJ's channel got taken down for copyright claims. He just posted last night. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I saw some from him like yesterday, so it must have just happened. Dry Heat 480, I did enjoy hearing Fastball, good tune. Yeah, nobody knows that song, right? Fastball has that one hit, and then nobody knows that second song. But yeah, we've been doing that song for years and years. I kind of like it. It's just, easy listening kind of tune. Yeah, it's all been done, Ed, exactly, yeah. I think everybody's played a G chord at some point in their life, right? You know what I mean? It's kind of like that. It's just stupid. Anyway. Hey, Six String Brian, how are you, man? Well, the one everybody knows is The Way. And what's the one I don't even know. What's the name of the song we play? I don't even know the name of the damn song, to be honest with you. It's not sad. I don't know the names of the songs we play, because we just refer to it as a fastball tune. But it's not The Way. It's not the big hit. It's another song that they came out with. I think it was like the second single. Broke your leg dancing as a kid to My Sharona. Oh shit, Brian Bond. Yeah, it's not right, Dale. Yeah. So anyway, Fire Escape. Thanks. That's the name of the song. It's Fire Escape. That's the one we play. You know our set list better than I do, Dry Heat. At least the names of the song. I know how to play all of them, but if you ask me, it's the weirdest thing, right? I mean, I can probably, at the drop of a hat, and I'm not saying this to brag, I've just been doing it for so long, so often. At the drop of a hat, I can probably play like 60 songs. But if you ask me, what are the 60 songs I can play at the drop of a hat, I could probably name 5. But if if somebody calls them out, I can play them. Isn't that stupid? Like, I don't know why that is. I don't know if anybody else is like that, but I've always been that way. It's like, well, what do you play? What tunes do you play with your band? And I'm like, and then you go and do a gig and you play all the tunes that you can't recall by name. and just you hear the first chord or first note and you're playing the song, or they get called out and you're playing them. But if you're put on the spot and asked, you know, um, name the songs that you play, I can't do it. I don't know, man. I don't know if that it's some form of musical dyslexia that I got or what, but I can play them, but don't ask me to name them. It's just a weird thing, right? So, anyways, and I just played 45, 46 last night, but don't ask me to name them. I can name maybe a handful of them, but that's crazy. Hey, Hobo Roadie, how are you? Okay, so I'm not alone. I'm not alone. Six String Brian, if I haven't said hello. So, yeah, so the sound on the stage was pretty bad, but apparently it came out sounding all right, and it turned out to be a good night. I thought we were actually going to play less than normal because we only went 9 to midnight, but what they did is we played the same amount as we normally would. We just took real short breaks. We only took 15-minute breaks, and we wrapped up at midnight, and I thought we were done, and they wanted an encore, so we did "Rocket in the Free World." That I remember. We did the Neil Young song, and that was it. And that was the night. So yeah, they want us back, but I don't know if I want to go back. I was talking earlier about this place. They pay us a little bit less than everywhere else. We're driving a lot farther to get there, and there's no tab. And I was saying earlier before most of you showed up that I had one beer last night and it cost me $12, and I'm not shitting you. So it's one of those things, right? Do we want to drive out that far? And so we talked about it at the end of the night. I don't think we want to go back there, but which is a shame because again, it has such a fantastic stage and it's a real good setup for a band. Where most bars like they stick in a corner and with one outlet for all your gear, right? So, but I guess you can't have it all. Who is your singer? I see he plays guitar. He ain't half bad. Does he focus on his tone? The singer is Ken. He's a fucking massive guy, big heavy guy. He's the guy who loaned me the Harley Benton. I'm going to be doing a review of this Harley Benton guitar. I showed it the other day. Sometime this week. So that's his guitar I'm going to be doing a demo of. Yeah, he sings and he plays rhythm. He does a couple of solos here and there too, just to give me a break. But yeah. Dry Heat Guitar Hack back in Chicago. There was a station that played all that 90s alternative. Oh, okay, that's how you know that song. Yeah. You played a Harley Benton last night, Six String Brian? What did you think? WXRT. I won't play a place that has a difficult load-in. Ain't climbing those steps. Yeah, the load-in was really cool here, Ed. We parked right in the front of the building, and they had the whole front of the bar opened up because they had an outside patio. So the load-in was actually really cool. No steps involved, unless you want to count the 2 steps up to the stage, but that's about it. Yeah. Denny Allen's been trying to cut down on hookers. That's awesome. I did not play a Harley Benton at the gig. Six String Brian. I did not. That was a Les Paul. There is not enough money in this world. You could pay me to play a Harley Benton at a gig. Just saying. No goddamn way. I'm sure there's some really great Harley Bentons out there, but the one I was playing last night, or the one I have here, is not one of them. And that's a little bit of a preview of of my review coming up. Anyways, I'll leave it at that. What cables do I use? I just use the regular. There's a company here called Yorkville. I don't use anything special, man. It's whatever they got, Just regular cables. They're not, any. I don't spend extra money on cables, anything like that. They're just your regular cables. Did your drummer let you play Ernie Ball? I didn't know. Last night I took out I took out a 339 and I took out I had a a Les Paul Classic. The snot green one was my backup. And because I didn't like the sound I was getting on stage. And turns out the sound was fantastic. Shit, man, that 339 sounded amazing when I heard the recording of it. I could have just stuck with it. The guys in the band loved the 339, by the way. I decided to stick with more familiar territory, and I played the last set with my Les Paul because that's the one I'm more familiar with, man. 9 times out of 10, I'm playing a Les Paul. So hardly betting in your hands now. Okay, Joe. Yorkville has been around forever. Oh, they have. I didn't know Yorkville was in the U.S. I thought Yorkville was just a Canadian thing. I appreciate that, Guitar Rehab. Hey, Fruitcake Tony, how are you, man? We've been on for about 45 minutes so far. Got 24 in here. So the other thing I'll mention too, I have all 3 sets on my YouTube channel from last night. If you're interested in watching those, I highly recommend just go to the 3rd set. That's where all the rock stuff is. Forget the other stuff. There's a lot of lame stuff that we do because you got to do it, crowd pleaser stuff. We watched some of it last night. Awesome, Fruitcake Tony. Awesome, buddy. Yeah, just go right to the 3rd set. Yeah, Yorkville is Trainer. That's the same company. Yeah. Actually, Yorkville is also the Gibson distributor up here. Yorkville's a massive company. Yorkville is behind Long and McQuaid too, and Long and McQuaid is our Guitar Center in Canada. So they're all like tied together. Yeah, that's what I was about to talk about. Dry Heat 480. So if you dug the tones last night that I was getting with the 339 or that I was getting with the Les Paul, not all of them, but I would say a good 70 to 80% of what you were hearing was the Larry Petros pedal. It was the Lost Dutchman. That's what you were hearing. That Lost Dutchman is fucking sick, buddy. I'm telling you guys, it's awesome. It's really, really good. And again, I don't work for the guy. I bought the pedal. Okay, nobody sponsors me for anything. Swear to God. And that pedal just sounded great. The other pedal, though, that sounded really, really cool on some of the lighter distortion stuff, so like I used it on Jesse's Girl, for example, was the K-Line Pure Sky, which is a $40 pedal that I ordered from China. And it's supposed to be like a Timmy type pedal. And for the lighter overdrives, that's what I was using. So I used that on, again, I'm blanking out on the songs. I used that on Talking in Your Sleep, I believe. I used that on Jesse's Girl. And what's that other song? Dun, 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 dun. Hey, dun, 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 dun. Hey, what's that song called? Come on. Anyways, I used it on that. God, see, I can't remember any songs I play, but I used it on that one too. So any kind of that was just had a little lighter distortion, a little bit of crunch, I used the K-Line Pure Sky pedal, and it sounded incredible. So yeah. So you know what? Those 2 pedals I would highly recommend. The Lost Dutchman on the plexi setting, it sounds great. It's just a great pedal. So any heavier dirt you were hearing was that. I used the Plimsoll a couple of times, but I was basically going between those 2 for the bulk of the night. And they worked great with the Marshall. I was using the Marshall Origin head and the Hughes & Kettner 212 cab. And it sounds great through that. They sound great through my Marshall combo. They just work with everything. So, and that's what I like, you know what I mean? So, hey, Absolute Mayhem, how are you, buddy? I don't even know what that is, Thrash. You're talking to an old guy here, man. My metal days ended in like 1990. So, sorry for the questions. No, man, keep them coming. Do you use any string lube, string light? I've never used that stuff before. Never. Not because it's good or bad. I've just never used it. It's something I wouldn't mind trying out, but I just never used it. Um, I'm just going down here. Yeah, LPD for the win for sure. You played the Andy Wood. Yeah, I played. Well, we played that one at the same time. Brian, remember we tried that guitar out? They had it at Cosmo Fest too, right? Yeah, we played that a couple of times. It's a good guitar. Don't tell me you have gas for it, man. Jesus, you just bought an R6. Wow, crazy man, crazy. Hey, Brad Miller, how are you? I used to use finger ease when my guitars would get sticky when playing live. Comes in a spray can. Yeah, I've never tried that before. That might be cool because if you're playing like outdoor gigs when it's really humid, I could see where something like that might come in. What I like about you, thank you, Quentin James. Yeah, what I like about you, I use the K-Line Pure Sky. Yeah. So check out the third set. I think the third set's pretty cool. I keep jonesing for new amps. 24Z Pack DC. I don't know how to say your name. Hopefully that's correct. Do you think a camper would be a safer bet money wise? Um, well, I don't know. I mean, it's hard to say, right? Like, you get a lot of simulations in that with the Kemper. If you don't want to have 20 amps, then get a Kemper. But the only thing with the Kemper is, I don't know if you're a gigging guy. Like, I always sort of hesitate whether it's a Kemper or a Helix, Axe Effects, any of that sort of digital modeling stuff. Because I'm a gigging guy, I'm always a little hesitant about that sort of thing, right? Because if it malfunctions or if some drunk spills something on it, and then you're kind of screwed, right? So for that, I generally go pedal board and pedal board into a tube amp. I'm really old school for that stuff. But if you just, if you're like a home player or you're a recording guy and you just want to just have a bunch of different flavors of amps and simulations and IRs and all that kind of stuff and effects, then go crazy on that, Like if I wasn't gigging, okay, let me put it this way. If I wasn't gigging, I'd own a Helix. Probably. Maybe. I don't know. Yeah. What I like about you. Okay, everybody knows the name of that song except the guy who plays it, right? That's sad. Hey, Broxel, how are you, man? You get a ton of fret wear and pits in your frets. You're asking me if I do? No. No, the only guitar I've ever played that I actually had the frets like really worn is I had a Strat. It was what do they call it? A Strat Pro or Strat Deluxe or something. I bought it in the early 90s. It had cold lace sensor pickups on it. And that was my main guitar for about 3 or 4 years. And that's when I was gigging like a lot, like, 50 weekends out of the year. I was probably doing 60, 70 shows a year. And I wore, plus rehearsals and all that, and I always played that one guitar. That's the only one that I actually wore out. Like I had real wear on the fretboard. Like like it was really like the wood was worn out. Like the finish, I should say. But that's it. But because I've got you can see like a few different guitars, and I'll play one and then I'll jump to another, jump to another. I don't play one long enough for it to get really any real fret wear on it. So. Go Helix Stomp. It was cool to hear the Bay City Rollers with more crunch. Oh, there's another. So the Bay City Rollers. So that song was another K-Line Pure Sky. $40 pedal, man. It sounded great. If you're looking for a cheap Timmy sounding pedal, K-Line Pure Sky, man. Again, I don't work for them. I bought it. It's just good. I'm just saying, it's a great pedal. $40, man. Canadian, so for you Americans, it's like a penny. It's a no-brainer. It's a really good pedal for cheap. Okay, so Henrik is saying when you reach for the string lube, it's usually time to change a set. Okay. Zepp AC/DC. If you're playing Zepp and AC/DC 2.4Z Pack DC, and that's basically where you're sticking, I would just stick with a tube amp. You know, if you want like an X-Effects, that's because you want to play all all different styles and tones and that. You know, but if that's your home base, all you need is a tube amp and an overdrive, and that's really all I prefer myself. Okay. Hey, Jeff White, how are you? Saw the third set. Sounded good. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. For sure, tube amp and board. I was thinking more. Oh, for studio, yeah, Kemper. If you want consistency, I guess. Denny, no, that band is strictly a cover band. That's all we do. We just do covers. And, you know, if I want to do originals, I got to use another outlet. I mean, I got original music. I've got, you know, stuff. I've only ever posted one original song, an instrumental that I did. But no, that's strictly a covers band. That's like, you know, we play private events, bars, that sort of thing. Strictly covers. Nobody wants to hear original music in the bar, you know, on a Saturday night. People want to hear stuff they're familiar with and they want to dance, right? If you want to do an originals thing, that's a whole other thing. You're basically going to pair up with 2 or 3 other bands and you'll probably play for like an hour. And everybody will do their 10 songs and that's it. Yeah, that's a whole different thing. Not that one is better than the other. It's just a completely different thing. At least that's how it works here in Toronto, right? I got a bass player in Rebel Charm, my other band. He does an originals thing. And it's always like 3 bands, you know, and then they charge something at the door. And hopefully you can get enough people to come in that want to hear your stuff that you can at least break even. Okay. Yeah, that's a good idea, Mayhem. Yeah, rent it. Yeah, that's a good idea, buddy. A love pedal. I would love to try a love pedal. Only because I've heard so many good things about love pedals, but I've never come across a love pedal here. You know, like if I walked into and saw like a used love pedal, I'd be all over that like a fat kid on a Smartie. But I've never come across a love pedal, but I understand that they're really good, you know. Hey, Craig Reckless, buddy, how are you, man? Yeah, PV Viper, yeah, it's cool. Hey, Ben's here. Hey, Ben, how are you, man? Oh, that's your username. Okay. You're confusing the hell out of me, buddy. Okay, Zepp AC/DC. Okay, but you got a 2.4 in front of it. Okay. Have I tried a Bad Cat? No. I don't think I've come across a Bad Cat amp. I don't think if I had, I tried just out of curiosity, so no. But again, I hear they're quite good. They're quite good. Joe Hervey, yeah, but believe me, covers bands, at least what I do, you know, you don't make a lot. I think I was able to make enough to cover my gas on the one beer that I bought last night. That's pretty much it. Craig Reckless, the same with the original stuff there? Yeah. Yeah, you usually got to have 3 bands minimum. You know, everybody takes a set. Yeah. Played a Bad Cat, was amazing. Cool. Bobby Lopez, I paid $12 for a beer at the bar I played at last night, so don't feel so bad. $12 for a Stella, man. Yeah. So there go my winnings. I played for free last night. Yeah, Broxville Guitar. You ever play at a place that makes food, and if so, do you eat there? Well, that place. Most places I play are bars, and they have food there, Broxville, and sometimes I do. Yeah, if I get there, and I haven't had a chance to have dinner, I might eat there. Some places are nice enough, not the place last night, but other places are nice enough to give us like free meal. But yeah, sometimes I do. Brad Miller, they use a bad cat at our church, have USB control of the amps. They run the heads into a load box, so still no cat. Oh, cool. Yeah, for me being on YouTube, I'm always tempted by these boutique amps, Bad Cat, Friedman, Tone King, etc., and I won't be able to try. And so I was thinking, yeah, it's tough. Zep ACDC, to find all those boutique ones in one location. We got one store here that they carry a lot of boutique stuff that nobody does, but they won't all have it at, they won't have them all there at the one time. You might get lucky and run into maybe a Bad Camp at the same time as a Friedman, although they pretty much have Friedman all the time now. But out of the ones that you're naming there, if I was to choose, I'd probably go with a Friedman. Yeah. I go if we're talking jonesing after amps, I mean, I would love to get a Friedman like Runt 20 or something like that, right? Just a 20-watt cab. I would love to get the combo, but unfortunately those combos only come with 10-inch speakers, and if I'm playing with a single speaker, it's got to be at least a 12. So, but that's kind of what I'm looking at. I don't feel bad paying $45.50 for a 24 now an hour ago. Oh, yeah, a hell of a lot cheaper to bring your own for sure. To buy your own, I should say. Yeah, well, that was the talk earlier, Brian. I'm thinking with EJ's channel, there was that guy that kept hitting him with copyright saying he was stealing his songs, and he obviously was not, and he proved that he wasn't. But I think that guy probably, hit him enough times that they took his channel down. So it's a pretty shitty thing to do, right? But that's the YouTubes, right? Yeah, $12. 6-string Brian. Yeah. Richard Poole, sounds like gigs are the same in the UK. Might be lucky to come home after £10. Okay. Yeah, it's universal, man. It's universal. Bobby Lopez, when I was doing that, buddy, I was making way more money, and I was eating for free and drinking for free every night, man. Bobby Lopez is talking about the Portuguese gig. So that's my heritage. That's my background. Back in the early 90s, I was doing 60, 70 shows a year, and I used to make money hand over fist. It was awesome. And, 25, 30 years later, I'm making less than half of what I would make in one night playing one of those gigs. So at this point, I'm doing it just for the love of it and really nothing else. And I do love it. I had a great time last night. I mean, there's nothing better, playing a Les Paul and entertaining a crowd. There's absolutely nothing better. Okay. I just went there and it's down. Okay. You want to join a Kiss or a Skinner tribute? Brian? I don't know if I'd ever want to be in a tribute band, Because if it's a band that you like, and if you play their stuff too many times, like I get this, this is just me. If I play if there's a song that I really like, for example, and I play it 100 times, I don't like the song anymore. I'm sick of it. So that would almost ruin like a band that I love if I was the tribute of that band, because I'd be playing it all the time. I'd be tired of hearing it. Again, that's just me. Hack, any gear you buy, is it worth Is it with playing live in mind? Yeah, everything I buy, Joe Hervey, I'm always thinking it's everything I buy is for a gig. If I can't use it at a gig, I don't buy it. There's no point, right? So yeah, it's all with that gigging thing in mind. $12. Was it a keg? No, it was one single beer. It was a Stella in a glass. It cost me $12 last night. $12 Canadian, so it's still quite for you. That's like $1.50, so still cheap American money. Bogner Helios looks good too. I was making 300 a night with and yeah, me too, Bobby. Yeah, me too. Jeff White Kiss tribute easier. You get to lip sync. Oh, that's funny. Yeah. I love being in a cover band. Got to play a lot of different bands. Never bored. Yeah, that's why I like the cover band. Because you can play a lot. Like, you know, you can mix it up, right? You know, like we play. Not that I love it, but you know, like stuff like Neil Diamond, and you can turn around and play a Kiss tune, and then you can, you know, play a Romantics tune, and then you can play a Rick Springfield. You know, you just whatever, and then a Green Day, and just kind of mix it all up. So, yeah, that's why, you know, and then if we get tired of playing a song, we'll just drop it, right? You know. Mitch, I'm on the new laptop right now, and it's working fine, man. So, yeah. And I've been on here for a while now, and I have not gotten a Darth Vader thing happening, so that's a good thing. Yeah, 39 cents, Brian. That's about it. What year is the LP with the green markers? It's a 2005 Brad Miller. That guitar is heavily modded. That's why I bought it. I bought it used a few years ago. The guy who had it originally, he took out the pickups that came with it. I don't even know what the original pickups were. But anyways, he took them out. He put in these pickups by a boutique pickup company called Sheptone. SHEP Tone. And he did the Jimmy Page wiring. So that thing's got push-pull pots. It does the out of phase, all that stuff. But I just love the sound of those pickups. They are different. That Les Paul is a very different sounding Les Paul. Like if I beat it, and I think I have a video where I beat all my Les Pauls if you want to check my demos. Anyways, it sounds totally different than like the Burst Bucker Pros I have in a standard, right? Or P90. It's a completely different sounding guitar. Right? And the pickups that he put in there, the Sheptones, they're called Heartbreaker pickups. So they were like the Led Zeppelin pickups. And, you know, that thing just sounds great when you're playing that type of stuff. And that's why I like the pickups. They're super low output, but you get really good clarity, right? Because I like clarity. And those pickups are great. So if anyone is interested, I'm sure the company's still around. Google Sheptone, SHEP Tone. He makes a bunch of different pickups, and they're boutique, but they're not crazy expensive. You know, they're not as expensive as some other manufacturers, so check them out. Oh, thanks, Mitch Heyman. Yeah. The sound, this is also the new mic I have. This is the Scarlett, courtesy of my good friend Dave. Yeah, everything is just sounding better. I mean, I did a quick test yesterday. I put the guitar on and I was playing a little bit, and everyone was saying that it sounded really good. I took that test down. I didn't want to keep that up, but everyone was saying the guitar sounded good. I'm able to talk and play at the same time. I don't have to turn channels on and off, any of that baloney. Yeah, it just seems to work better. So far, so good. So, you know, just, I'm not looking forward to the next Visa bill. Let's just leave it at that. Okay, someone who was original, like the one. I saw one today. It was original Sunburst, like the one Eric has, 1200, kind of beat, so passed on it. Was at a small local guitar shop. Yeah, you know, the beat up thing doesn't, I don't know, Brad. I mean, as long as the for me anyway, as long as like the face of the guitar is fine. If it's got buckle rash on the back and some dings in the headstock, that stuff doesn't bother me. If the thing feels and plays well, then I'll buy it. Like Blackie, I keep saying Blackie. Actually, I'm wearing my here. I'm wearing my Guitar Hack Blackie shirt. Blackie was beat to hell, but it's such a good guitar and sounds good that I don't care. If I'm buying a new guitar, obviously, but if I'm buying a used guitar, I really don't care. Okay. The Runt 50 is a good app. I love the combo. The clean is great, which I didn't expect. Yeah, Runt 50s or anything Friedman is good, just about. Did Mitch just ask? Brian's stirring up shit. All right. Okay, I've been on over an hour here. So, if anyone's got any questions, let's see how many we got in here. All right, 35 in here. You guys absolutely rock. Okay, so, couple things. So, as I usually say, guys, it's a fantastic community. Let's all support each other. Let's keep this a positive, happy place. You guys absolutely rock. If you want to support the channel, I got merch like these shirts. The link is below. I got shirts, I got mugs, new designs, so on and so forth. I have a PayPal as well. Also below, I have Guitar Hack. I have a Guitar Hack Facebook page, and I have a Guitar Hack Instagram page. So please follow those. I'm putting stuff up there every day that you won't see elsewhere. So if you want to follow those those pages, that would be fantastic. I just got word that my rehearsal this week got shifted as we were talking here. I just got word, so I'm probably going to be doing a Tuesday show instead of my Thursday show. I know it's confusing, but I'll do a Tuesday show and no Thursday show this week, so that I get at least one show in this week. So Tuesday at 7 p.m. I'll put something up so that you can see there's a show coming up on Tuesday. And yeah, that's about it. And I'm forgetting something, and I don't know what it is. And it's going to hit me as soon as... yeah, check out the gig. I live streamed the whole gig on yesterday. And if you are going to check out the gig, please check out set 3, because that's where the rock and stuff is. The other stuff's got a lot of... Other sets have that lamer stuff, unless you really want to hear Brown Eyed Girl, go right to set 3. And yeah, and it sounded all right. It sounded pretty good, the phone distorted a little bit, but not so bad. I think it's okay. I heard some of it last night. I was just real happy that it sounded better out there than it sounded on the stage, because the stage sound was really, really shitty last night. Broxley got a Friedman JJ Jr. when it first came out. Yes, yeah, those are supposed to be really good. I haven't played a JJ yet. I played the other ones, but not that one. But okay, man boobs. Okay, I don't want to go there. Is Labor Day? Yeah, Monday's a holiday for us. Fruitcake Tony. Yeah, Gene Simmons invented Labor Day. If anyone's interested. Do you get moves with the purchase of a shirt? I don't know. I didn't know, no, because I was actually gonna gig with this shirt on yesterday, but what happened was, they wanted us a little more dressy, so I wore something else. Okay, I'm just catching the last questions. Everybody's obsessed with man boobs. Oh, my man boobs? You like the hack boobs, do you? Oh, Lord. Yeah, actually, Gary, yeah, surprisingly, we didn't play Mustang Sally last night. Yeah. Yeah, I was happy about that, too. Yeah. Okay, it's going down. All right, Gene Simmons invented Tuesday. All right, folks, have a fantastic rest of your long weekend. Brian S. Yeah. Have a fantastic rest of your long weekend. We'll catch you all on Tuesday at 7 o'clock. Yeah, please like and subscribe if you're not already. My subs are starting to increase again. That's absolutely fantastic. So that's great. So appreciate you guys hanging out. And yeah, have a great rest of your weekend. Rock on, folks. Cheers.